and welcome to the Wednesday, June 30th edition of the Islandstats Sports Brief. I'm Earl Bailey. During the government's COVID-19 press conference last evening, Dr. Ernest Peace, the Minister of Youth, Culture and Sport, addressed two sporting matters.
I'd like to also offer some comment on the recent matter concerning our national swimmers who were not able to get certification to represent Bermuda at the Olympics. The way this incident unfolded has been most unfortunate. The situation was politicized and the athletes were caught in the middle. As is common in these situations, there are at least three sides to the story, and it saddens me to see the disappointment all around. Nevertheless, I'm confident that the Standards Committee has been consistent in the application of the criteria as voted on and decided upon in 2017. I do appreciate the disappointment fully, and I've personally spoken to the family of at least one of the swimmers, and I can say that I'm supportive of these and all our athletes who have aspirations to compete at the highest level of their respective sports. Our attention needs to remain squarely focused on the development of our athletes and to ensure that our NSGBs, the Bermuda Olympic Association, and our athletes are supported so that we as a country have representation on the international sporting arena on a consistent basis. Finally, I'd like to close by highlighting the upcoming Cup Match Classic, which is scheduled to take place at the end of July. Cup Match is truly a special time for us as a community as well as a country. It is a time of unity, camaraderie, national pride, and of course the reigniting of friendly rivalries between Somerset and the best cricket club in St. George's. It is also time for richness of our culture and our heritage on full display. Sadly, last year, for the first time in our history, Cup Match could not take place due to the effects of the pandemic. But this year, thankfully, the two clubs were able to come together to ensure that our annual classic could happen for our country.
The Bermuda men's senior national team continue to prepare for their upcoming 2021 CONCACAF World Cup preliminary match against Barbados, which is scheduled to take place on Friday, July 2nd. At a press conference last evening, Islandstats.com sat down with head coach Kyle Lightbourne and captain Lakeith Wells.
So in the last Nations Cup campaign, the team had a certain look in their eyes, the players, the coaching staff, everybody. Do you see that this time around?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. In the last campaign, we were bouncing around. We were, everybody was up for it. Yeah, we have a little bit of a different staff that's going on. But, I could feel it coming back, and hopefully we can time it at the right time. Maurice is not here with us. Ray is due to come in today. We have Sequoia with us, who's part of the coaching academy. We have Shaquille Trott. So we have different faces that are here with us. So the atmosphere is not quite the same, but we are all still striving for the same, sort of results. And the process is a little bit different this time.
Now, you guys seem to gel quite a bit as a family of sorts. Or you guys are kind of around the same age. Most of you are around the same age, grew up playing together and so forth. How much of that helps when it's game time?
Yeah, it definitely helps. I don't think any international country can kind of emulate what we have as a nation. It could be groups of 5 or 6 that know each other, know the individuals inside out, grew up, played primary school, middle school, high school, club football, all the way up onto this stage. And when you have the, that understanding of each other, I think it's easy to go to war together. I've been playing with Reg since I was 10 years old. I've been playing with Dante Laverick since I was 10 years old. Playing with Roger Lee since I was about 14 years old. amongst the national team. And I can go on and go on. Lijon since he was 17. And you get to know people, people on and off the field. We have people that are family members, godfathers, best friends. And you don't get that in any other nation. And that's something that we have to bring to the pitch in terms of our willingness to fight for each other, our willingness to do what it takes for each other, because it is like a family. Bermuda is a very small place, and that's what it is like for us. So we have that advantage of a plenty of nations, and we have to take that continuity and togetherness and try and let it mesh well with what we plan to do.
Tyrone Smith's attempt to qualify for the Tokyo Olympics came to an end last evening when he missed out on the qualifying standard of 8.22 meters. Following the meet last evening, Smith took to social media and wrote, quote, "Potentially an end of an era. Last week, I jumped in Colorado Springs and felt the best I've felt in years. In the second round, I jumped 7.94, and then in the fourth round, I fouled at over 8.40 meters. The fifth jump, I strained my hamstring. The last 9 days have been spent rehabbing and getting treatment for hours every day for one more competition, one more opportunity to hit the qualifying standard of 8.22 meters. Today was that day, and ultimately, 9 days was just not enough time. Without training, my body wasn't ready to be on the cutting edge of its performance capabilities." End quote. Delray Rollins' Sussex Sharks teammate Tom Clark has tested positive for COVID-19 and is now self-isolating. 7 members of the Sussex first team squad, including Rollins, an academy player, and a member of the team's support staff, have been identified by the club as having close contact with Tom in the 48 hours preceding the onset of his symptoms, and have also now entered self-isolation. Bermuda's 2021 America's Group 3 Davis Cup team of Tariq Simons, Trey Mallory, Gavin Manders, and James Finnegan will begin their Davis Cup advancing bid in Panama today. 2 nations will advance from the America's Group 3 to contest the 2022 World Cup Group 2 playoffs. Bermuda have been drawn in Group B alongside Costa Rica, Honduras, and Trinidad and Tobago. Bermuda will begin their 2020 Davis Cup against Honduras. The scene from the first day was unfortunately repeated yesterday at the 2021 Radial Youth European Sailing Championships and Open Water European Trophy in Croatia. After a morning waiting ashore for the wind, all 301 youth sailors, including Sebastian Camp, were finally sent to the water at 12:30 to try and catch some sailing, but a light and unsteady breeze forced the race committee to send them all back to shore without races. Adam Hall and his Aberdeen Ironbird teammates split the final 2 games of its series with the Rome Braves in a High A East play at Ripken Stadium. In Game 1, Aberdeen lost 8-4. Game 2 saw 2 Aberdeen pitchers combine to throw a shutout in a 5-0 win. And that's a look at the Wednesday, June 30th edition of the Islandstats Sports Brief. I'm Earl Baisden.